Alright, so let's get into drafting the mid-bass corset. Alright, I noticed most of you don't actually get or don't have the dress form to actually draft it on the dress form. Now, this is something like a mid-bass corset, a very simple one. But then, this is not what I want to show you. There's something else I want to show you. Now, you realize that we have a lot of um, channels here for boning. Okay, and of course, it's not everything that you have to bone. You can be boning some of the important ones. Okay, I already have a bra cap here at this side, so I don't have to bone it. The breast side needs to flow, so I can bone this one and then the side ones, and then just leave, or I can only bone it to the under bust and then leave the back side so it flows. All right, but then if you look at it here, you realize that I have sewn a number of what bones on it. It doesn't even actually form part of the patterns. Okay, the boning channel doesn't form part of the patterns. It's something I did after. So it's not always that you have to be cutting your parting pieces into small pieces. Now, if you look here, if you look at the back side, this side, it has a seam. Okay, the normal seam that you have. Okay, the normal seam, and I've put in the bias on it like that. The normal seam that you have. The rest of it, all that you see here, are all just something to decorate it to make it look nice. All right. So these are all bones that these are all how do you call it, bias that I've sewn actually on it. Okay. If you look at the inside, it's just the regular seam, the center back seam I have here, my side seam, and then my bust here and here, side seam, and then the center. The same, the regular thing that you know. Okay. Fortunately, I made a mistake cutting, so I had to just extend it by joining pieces here. That's how it makes the work look yama yama. But I'm glad that it doesn't really show in the front side because of the chantilly lace I have on top of it. Now that's just something small I want to show you, not anything huge. All right, let's get into the drafting. So I have this here, my bodice, front body. This is a full block. This is a full block, and I've got my markers here. Where is the other one? Okay, so let's get into the drafting now. Oh, let me also mention that it is best, you see, it is best overbust there, or if it's overbust, it's best to, sorry, if it's mid bust, usually it's best to actually go with the dress form patterns. Okay, just take note of that. For that one alone, when it comes to corset patterns, it is best to do it on the dress form. The patterns works, but then not as how it comes out as when you do it on the dress form or on a figure. All right. Okay. So now this is my bodice block from my shoulder to my hip. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and then decide where I want it to. If you want it to end on your waist, it's fine. If you want it to end a little bit below your hip, it's also fine. So let's see. I'm not going to sew this. I'm just showing the patterns. I think if I do that, that would help. So I've actually marked or made, yeah, indicated where I want my my top to end. Okay, and I have it here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line from my bust point. My bust point is simply where my apex to apex or nipple to nipple line meets my how do you call it, my my bust line. Okay, where the nipple to nipple line meets the bust point or the bust line is your apex to, is your bust point. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this dart. I won't be using the dart I have here, but then I'll be keeping the dart allowances that I did at the various areas in my head. Okay, so I'll go ahead and clean the dart here. All right, then my shoulder to under bust is 15, that is around here. 15.5, that is here. Okay, this is my shoulder to under bust line. All right, so I'm going to stand here and draw a line to the middle of what, my shoulder. Now when you are drafting corset, middle of your shoulder, drawing a line from your bust point to your middle of the shoulder is something common. It's something that you have to do for every corset that you draft. Okay, right, so with that, I'm going to go here. My nipple to under bust is 4 inches, so I'm going to go, this is my bust point. All right, that's my bust point. Let me see if it's recording right. I need to be sure you are seeing the things clearly. Let me zoom in a bit. Okay, wire great, wire great. Alright, so from here, nipple to underbust is 4 inches, but my shoulder to underbust is what, 15? Is it 15? Okay, it's 14, right? And then my nipple to underbust is 4 inches. I'm going to transfer the same 4 inches above my bust, like this. At that side, I'm going to go at each side of my line, of my straight line, a 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch. Okay, you should find out. If you don't know what 3/4 is, please kindly do find out. Okay, so from here, my bust point, I'm going to join it to the line or the point I've marked. Okay, to the point I have marked. All right, to the point I've marked, 3/4 at each side of the line. That is to allow your chest to lie down flat, and you know, basically that is just the understanding over there. Okay, so the next one to do actually is to decide how you want your style to go. Okay, now my it could usually, the line is something like this. It doesn't really go straight. Okay, doesn't really go straight most of the time. So I want it like this. I want my front to be curved like this. Yeah, so I told you that that line, I'm going to clean everything. I don't want to have any that line. Okay, right, so this is it. So at my underbust, okay, at my underbust, this is my, let me just write some UB here, my underbust. Okay, I'm going to go at one side. Okay, 3/4 of an inch. Okay, at my underbust, I'm going to go from the straight line I've just drawn. This is just my style. Okay, that's the style I want. So I'm going to go 3/4 of an inch away from the, from the straight line. Okay, here, 3/4 of an inch. Okay, if the person is busty, you can do 1 inch. All right, you can do 1 inch. So now this my figure looks big. Let me just do 1 inch. I think it'll be fine. If you are less than that, please if you are not a plus size, kindly maintain your 3/4. Okay, so this is my 1 inch. So I'm going to shape this from here to here, this line here, and then I'm going to join it to this line. You see, I drew from here to here. My dart is cleaned, all right, but then when I drew the straight line from my bust point, I went here. Okay, I went here 1 inch, and I joined it with a curve. That is going to be my curve to accommodate my back side. Okay, and then I'm going to join here to the straight line. All right, and that should be a blend. It shouldn't be, you see, you are joining it to the waist side. All right, you see, it's actually joining at my waist side. Now, listen, I can clean this, or I should clean this. Now you realize that the waist has to be snatched, right? So I'm going to go here just about ½ inch. Now you realize that the dart at the waistline, at the waist side, is 1 inch, right? Good. So I'm going to do from here to here, I'm going to do just ½ inch, and then I'm going to join it to the ½ inch. Okay, and I'm going to blend it to join the hip. Do you see? This here is a straight line. Now this is my waistline. This is my waistline. Let me go over again. My waistline. And I told you that the allowance, or the dart allowance, or the dart intake at the waist is 1 inch. So I'm only using a half of it. From here to here is ½ inch. Then I'll join it from my underbust. I have to shape here properly. And then I'll join it from here to here, and I'll extend it to my hip line. Okay. Now I can have a second seam here. Let's say somewhere here. Okay, let me go ahead with it. Now this is a second seam I want to have. Okay, that's a second seam I want to have. All right. So the half inch that is left for the dart intake at the waist. Okay, I'm going to do a quarter of an inch here, a quarter of an inch here. All right, and it's going to add up to the half inch, which when added to this half inch would all sum up towards 1 inch. Okay, so that means that the dart intake at the waist has been brought back when it was cleaned. Do you understand? It's a bit rough, but then just take time to watch it again. Okay. Actually, the dart here that is supposed to be at the waist here is sum up to 1 inch, and I've only used half inch from here to here for this one, and I'm going to use the other half inch for this one. But this one, I'm not going to share it. I'm not going to do it for just one side. I have shared it for the both sides of the line. Okay, for both sides of the line. So I'm going to draw a line here to meet this point here. Okay, to meet that point. Now, wherever it wants to, if it wants to continue like this, that's fine. Okay, that is very fine. But then wherever it ends on this high bust line, I'm going to connect it to the quarter of an inch I want at this side, and I'm going to connect this one too. Okay, so it's forming something like a dart, right? And then I can blend it to the hip side. Do you see? Is it clear enough? All right, so I have to zoom in again. Okay, so this is it. All right, it's a bit complicated, but take time to watch it again. All right. Okay, so here is just a straight line. Okay, just a straight line. When you join this, it should give you this slanted style. All right, now you go ahead and then you can draw your style line that you want. Okay, the style line that you want to have. If it's like this that you want, okay, you go ahead and draw it, and then this side would come like so. All right, and then here goes down like that. You get it? So the allowance you are going to take from this bust side is just going to be this small allowance that you're going to take out. All right, you're going to take out. You get it? All right, and then the underbust side, this amount will be taken out from the underbust. Okay. All right. So this is it. I'm going to have 3 patterns for the front, maybe 4 or 3, 8, no 6. I'm going to have my side front, my middle front, and my center front. This one can be unfold or cut to. So this one can be cut to. This one can be cut to. This can also be cut to. So let me draw my notches across the seams. Okay, and that will be it. Okay. If I want this side to be curved, I can make it be curved like that. Okay, however I want to style this part, I can actually style it however I want. Okay, this is it. So for this pattern, I'm going to have this. Okay, that's what I'm going to have. And then for this pattern, now usually you have to close here to actually make sure that your patterns are meeting up. Okay, your patterns are meeting up. Okay, just close here and then try and match it, try and blend it. All right, I think it's something I've shown you before. So this pattern is also going to be here. So we'll take this side of the dart. Sorry. All right. Yeah. Is it making sense anyway? All right. And then I think I had a third marker, but fortunately, I don't know where I placed. Okay, I think I found it. Okay. So I'm going to have this one. Okay, so you see, so actually this is going to remain like this. This is the part that is going to give us the curve. Okay, and we have our side front, right? If you want to have this one to be straight, if you want it to be straight, it's fine. If you want it to be a bit curvy, if you want it to be curvy, however you want to style this part, it's all up to you. It doesn't always have to be like this. Okay, and here you can let it come front a bit and then shape it straight. If you're not going to join any sleeve, okay, you can shape it from here. If you're drawing the neckline, you can shape it straight like this, and it's going to give you that nice look over there. Okay, patterns is just about patterns is just all about how you want your thing done. It's just a creative process. Okay, you decide on most of the things, but you have to consider the pattern rules. Okay, so this is it. I said that my client is a bit busted. I think her bust is 40 something, and that's how come I have this one. Right, so if she's a normal figure, all right, it's just 3/4 under the bust and then just blend it like that. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now let's shift to the back. Most of you were asked back. Now the back, if you're having a three-piece here at the back, you should also repeat the same at the back. Okay, so if the front is 6, or however the front is, you have to also make sure you're having the same at the back. Or nowadays, I think there's no really pattern restrictions. Except the basic rules, right? So I'm cleaning this dart also. I want us to, okay, maintain the dart intake, but then have a different style for it. Okay, have a different way that we want to draft that. So I'm cleaning this basic dart here. Okay, and I'm going to draw other lines. So I can choose to do straight lines, or I can choose to do slanted lines. However I want it, all depends on me, the designer. Okay, so now when I look here, the distance from here to here is about, hey, no, please forgive me, forgive me. Now I am supposed to do the bastard. I forgot. Jesus Christ. So forgive me. Okay, so this is my bastard here. All right. So you can close this. All right. I forgot. Please, I just forgot. So right after cut, you have to cut this whole shape out. Okay, and then cut that, and then close it. I'm going to do it. I'll show you how we will do that. Okay, so that you have a nice job. Okay, forgive me for that. That is very bad. Okay, let's head on to the back. Okay, so I measured that the distance from here, the distance from the waistline below, is 1.5 from the waistline, 1.5. And since she's busty, I can now. Some of you asked me if actually, when you extend it too much, when you want to lace the back is very difficult to close. Okay, it opens up like that. Okay, so it's better to join this to the waist. You blend it to join to the waist, and then you are okay to go. All right, but then if you want to extend it below the hip, that is fine. But make sure that when you are boning it, your boning doesn't extend to this side, or it only ends at the waist, so that when she's sitting down, she can be free. Okay, she can be very free. All right. The boning ends only at the waist. Okay, so I want this project to just end at the waist. So from here, I just blended it to the waist like so. All right. So I'm going to draw 3 different lines for my back. Now, first of all, I'm going to stand at this side. Then I'll draw. How many inches do I want to take from the back? I think I want to take about 3 inches from the back, right? So that is going to be 1.5 because she's busty. All right. Okay, so this is the allowance I'm taking at the back to snatch the body. Just 1.5. It means that it's going to be 3 inches for the back. Okay, so I'm just taking 3 inches away from the back here, and this is the remaining. I'm not going to touch the waist because our dart intake is going to affect the waist, and it's going to be how do I put it? The dart we are going to take from the waist is automatically going to reduce the waist measurement, so I don't need to come back here and then connect it or make it straight. No, if I do that, it means that the dart I'm going to use is just normal dart. Did I say normal dart? Right. So I want my pattern here to be slanted here, and I want another one. Now I'm just drawing freestyle, okay, but then if you are doing it, you can actually be using measurements. Let's say from here to here is what you make sure that the distance between this and that is the same, and the distance left for here to here is the same. All right, so do that. I have just gone ahead to draw the style line I want. Okay, so let me go ahead and extend this to here and extend this to here. Okay, right. So now the total data amount I have here at the back is what? 1 inch, right? So I'm going to go here, a quarter of an inch and a quarter of an inch, summing up to what? Half inch. And then here is a quarter of an inch, a quarter of an inch, summing up to what? Half inch. Okay. So I'm going to join all of them to my high bars line like so. And then don't forget that we also take allowance from here. Okay, so you can do just, since the lines are double, okay, we can just do 1/8, something small here and then something small here, 1/8 at each side, 1/8 here and then 1/8 here, and then we can just be joining them like that. Okay, 1/8 1/8 like that. 1/8 is very small. The first stroke you have on the tape measure is what you call the 1/8. So this is it. Okay, from here to here, this is how you have your back. So I'll have my center back, my middle back, and my side back. This is going to be a cut 2. It's going to be a cut 2. It's going to be a cut 2. Okay. All right. So you realize that here and here are all what? Half inch, half inch. So it means that 2 inches has already been taken from the back. Okay. And then when you sew this, this is also another 2 inches. This is half inch. This is also another 2 inches, which means total of about 4 inches has been taken from the waist to snatch it. Okay, that is why we don't have to take some from this side again. Okay, that is why we don't take some from the waist again when we want to cut out the measurement. This is just to affect the back side. Okay, and of course the half of an inch that you take from here is just for your side ease. Okay, just for this side. You also do that so that your side also, like sometimes you could sew a corset and then the side is acting very loose. Okay, so that's the half inch you take from there, you join it to this side. Okay, and then the half inch, the same thing for this one. Then you join it like that. Okay, all right, I think that is all for the mid bust. It's just simple. Okay, so you draw it, since this is quite identical, quite similar, you draw your notches, and then you identify that this side is the up, else you get lost. Okay, you get lost with it. All right, so when you are done, you cut them out. You cut the dart pieces, the darts you've created all away, and then you can have your project nice. Okay, so let me go ahead and cut this one and then close the bust dart for you to see. I didn't want to close that, but I didn't want to cut it out, but for the sake of that, let me cut it out. So cutting it out, you see that I cut out at the half inch I just did for the side ease. I cut it away, and then when I'm done, I'm going to cut through here my straight line. Okay, and I'm going to slash and close my bust that. Okay, so it's closed, so I can go ahead and then through my line. Okay, I'll go ahead and through my line. So that's my bust side. Okay, so I'll go ahead. So this will be my pattern, and then I'll cut this side also away. Okay. Okay, so I have this here. All right, so this would be my pattern for the mid bust. Okay, if you wanted to end at the waist, that's fine. Okay, I just wanted to extend to the hip a bit. Okay, so that is it. Very simple, I think. Right, so that's it. And then my back, I can go ahead and then use the marker to actually draw it well, and then you can see how that looks like. And this would also come here. Okay, so what you're going to do is just to cut these shapes out, and that's all. What you're going to do is to just cut these shapes out, and that is what everything or all right, there's nothing that you have to do again. You've taken all the allowances away, and that is it. Okay, that's it. That's all. So you make sure that you join it to the side here, and then this one comes in like so. Alright, so that's all for your mid bust corsets. That's all for it. That's all for it. Now this is how your pattern what looks like. Okay, this is how it looks like. So you can go ahead and also try your hands on it. Let me see how it looks like when you how it looks like when you also draft yours, or how it looks like when you sew yours. All right, I really want to see that. I made a mistake. 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 Why is this class giving me so many mistakes? Alright, so let me show you. Let me show you real quick. So the only thing that got damn. It's bad, right? It's bad. Now you realize that the style line actually came from the armhole and it was slanted like this, right? But the back, see what I did? I made it straight. Jesus Christ. Okay. Forgive me, okay? I guess it's because maybe I'm suffering cold. That's why I'm not really. My brains are not working pretty well. Okay, so this is my side. So actually, yeah, you can have it like this. What this thing I did here, you can have it like that. But okay, but considering the style line I did, let me bring it here so you guys see it well. So the style line is supposed to be something like slanted. Do you see? Where is the one I cut from here? Okay, so this is it. Okay, so my design isn't supposed to end this is center line. Let me arrange it well so you guys actually see it properly. Thought I was going to stop recording at 28. Now it's almost 30. Wow. It's 31 minutes. Wow. Okay, so I was supposed to actually also what blend it like this, create the back like this. So that I take part of the armhole and it joins like I have done for the front. You see, it came with the armhole. But this one I just did it straight. That's the only mistake I did. So when you are doing yours, kindly note that yours has to extend. Okay, you have to extend it upwards like that. Okay, you extend the lines upwards like that. Okay, the allowances and everything I used remains the same, but then the style line I needed to draw wasn't what I drew. Okay, so please forgive me for that, and then you can you see what I mean. All right, so I was just supposed to draw my style line from here to end at where the allowance would be. Okay, and then this line would have continued to here, and then this here, and then the rest of it will be for this side. That's the only mistake I made, so forgive me for that. This is the patterns basically. That's the whole understanding. See you again in the next class.